Hi there, I haven't posted a video for quite a while, but I felt the inclination to do so today and to do a little rune reading on the US election. Just to give a little bit of background, at the end of each year, I sit in the quiet with my intuition, just to perceive a few things about the year that is coming up. And it is strangely the ones that seem to be most peculiar, that are usually the most accurate. Although, of course, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. So, for this, at the beginning of the year, I had the feeling on the US election, and I was a little bit curious myself, that it would be an irrelevance, that I thought was a very strange word to get in relation to something that is usually so decisive. And when I felt into this a little bit more, I was aware of the feeling that it didn't matter too much who was elected, because there would be change anyway. That was what I felt, that change would come shortly after. And I know that this was nothing to do with the usual interval that there is between a president being elected and taking office. It was nothing to do with that. It was as though something was cancelled, something was deleted, or something was changed. And that was the only way that I could see it. And I also felt that there was a delay. So whether that would be a delay in determining the result, or the result is challenged, I don't know. I couldn't get any information on that. But it was very odd, to say the least. I also felt that regardless of the outcome of the election, that in many ways Donald Trump would be a spent political force by the time that spring came, and that would be to do with information. But again, I am not able to say whether he will be elected president or not, only that the situation around the election seems to be extraordinary. And that is nothing to do with COVID. It's to do with the election process itself. So when I decided to select 3 runes today, I just put my hand in the bag and blindly pulled out 3 runes. And then, with my eyes still closed, I cast them or threw them on the table. And you will have seen the photograph of those 3 runes and the way that they fell at the beginning of this video. The first rune was Othella, that fell in its upside down position, as I say, standing on its head with its legs in the air. The middle rune was Thorazaz, which was in its upright position. And the one to the right was Erwaz or Ervaz, which was also in its upright position. And how they fall will always influence how I read them. So to read Othella in the reversed position, and there are 4 ways that Othella can fall. 4 ways that most of the runes can fall. But to read it in that position in this context, because obviously I cannot read it in the way that I would do for a person, or the way that I would do for runes and rainbows. I cannot read chakras and energies when I am asking about a circumstance. But of course I can use my intuition when that comes in. But Othella in this position, upside down, for me would always signify legal difficulties and in this instance being part of the election process itself. Legal challenges perhaps, complications, but certainly legal difficulties, and I want to say in an unprecedented way. So there will not have been a happening of this in the way that it, at least in the way that it has happened in the past, that can be referred back to. And in the centre of the reading, there was Thorazaz, which is a very powerful energy, a giant energy, a force that wants to move forwards. But I really felt in this situation that we were talking about different powers, different power structures within the United States, trying to come to some sort of conclusion, to sort out, to arrive at a certain destination, rather than the confusion, that was the force that was at work, the force that was unfolding here. And I felt that there would be also within that quite a lot of different facets saying this is right, and other facets saying that is right. And for a time it is quite difficult to see how this will come together, how it will work. But there will be a way, and I want to say there will be a change, because that's what I'm feeling here. So we should expect, I would expect a change to come about within a few months of the election, a change to take place. But I am also, and I'm not saying, that would mean necessarily a different president to the one that is elected. I don't know. But I feel it could take that length of time for the things to settle into place as they need to. And then we have Ervaz, which is a very good rune from the perspective of people working together. And I feel that will, it will come about. It will look as though it can't. It will look as though there is no way for people to work together. But I feel that there will be a way, and this rune would certainly be an omen of there being a way for people to work together and to come together and to begin to work for future stability. And then I decided to select another rune as a signifier almost for the potential for moving forwards from this point. And I wanted this to start really at the earliest in April, May, but probably in the summer or even August for the start of this, to say that a new process is settling in after a break from tradition. Because to come back to Othela, when Othela falls that way, there has to be a break with tradition in some way. And of course the role of President of the United States and the process of electing the president is quite a traditional thing. It's rooted in tradition, but there's something here that stands the traditions in a way on their head, and that has to be worked through. And Thorazaz, standing at the centre there, is showing that there should be, from the powers that be, the ability to work this through. Although there will be confusion, there will be upheaval, and there will be, I feel, some discord before this can settle in a better way. But coming back to the summer, the spring and the summer of 2021, the rune that I had when I selected a signifier for the settling down period was Aur, also known as Yera. Yera means harvest or good harvest, and Aur means year. This rune is also sometimes known as earth, and it's really about the earth beneath our feet. It's also, for me, the partnership with life, with the partnership with the processes of life. We can sometimes say, well, the wind is at our back, or alternatively we can say we are swimming against the tide. But when this rune, Aur or Yera, falls in its upright position, its most positive position, then in a way the wind is at our back. And I feel that that is the start of starting to build the seeds of more stability and again with the, within the US processes. But it won't necessarily be the same stability, the same kind of stability. It'll have a different flavour to what has gone before. But nevertheless, it is a stability, and it is something that the people can feel a little bit more, maybe, that things are going in their favour. For everyday average people would start to feel more that things are edging a little bit more their way. And this fits in also very well with the rune Airways, which I always see as like two horses pulling a carriage, and of course both of those horses have to work together. And I'm not really talking here about two political parties working together, just that there is a coming together and a working together that is more helpful than that which has been in place in recent times. And these are the impressions that I gained today from the runes and from my intuition. And I hope you find that interesting. This work that I do with the runes and my intuition is very different to the work that I do within spiritualism, with the spirit communicators, when I bring evidence of survival from those who want to communicate on a link of love and friendship. They of course take a great deal of interest in what is going around us now, usually, because they love us and because they care. But they don't look at the future potential in the same way that I am able to do when I read the runes. It's really just about the present time. But of course they love to encourage us too. If you would like to arrange a reading, you can find the details on my website, K Cook Spirit Wings. I am only offering online or email readings just at the moment due to the COVID situation. Thank you for listening. Thank you.